Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Snapchat Q&A. I'm going to just jump right into the video because I got a lot of questions and I don't want this video to be super long, so.
Hi Tia, I'm a Nigerian student here in Italy and I want to know if you can make a video telling Italians to stop being negative about number one fan here. If you can teach them to stop being negative on Africans. I mean, not everyone here is an illegal immigrant. Like, I'm not an illegal immigrant.
I can totally see where she's coming from. There's just so much ignorance about Africa and Europe in general. Some of the things that I hear make me cringe so bad. The other day, one of my friends was asking me about the war in Nigeria, and I was like, what war in Nigeria? There is no war in Nigeria. There's this separatist group, a really extreme Muslim separatist group in the northeast part of Nigeria, Boko Haram, and they do atrocious things, but that is different from there being a full-out war in the country. Comparative to other African nations, Nigeria is doing quite well. Nigeria has the #1 economy in Africa, 20th in the world. It's the most populous country in Africa. It has something like 140 million people living there, and it's 3 times bigger than Italy. So if something is happening in the isolated jungles of the northeast, it doesn't mean that it has anything to do with the rest of the country. Yes, African governments, they have a ways to go before they have the credibility and the power of some Western countries, but that's the reason why Boko Haram still exists. It's because we have a very disorganized and sometimes corrupt government in Nigeria that can't handle the situation. I hear people talking about like Nigerian refugees and I'm just like, why? In those really rural parts of the northeastern jungle, people don't really have a lot of access to information, I think, and I don't think that they know that they can just move to the other side of the country and not be in the grips of Boko Haram. They're closer to like Chad and Libya and those northern African places where they can find a smuggler and pay him to bring them to Europe in a boat. And maybe to them, they think that in Europe the streets are paved with gold and everything is going to be nice. A lot of them get tricked into going, or they have this flawed idea of what going to Europe would be like, which is why you find Nigerians going to Italy. But to be honest, Nigeria is not what a lot of people think. There's no war in Nigeria. One time I heard this Italian guy tell me, he was like, yeah, but Africans can't find jobs in Italy because they don't know how to speak English or French. And I was like, excuse me, what? So the English and the French didn't colonize like 90% of Africa and force them to learn their languages? The national language of Nigeria is English and everybody there can speak it. Just like anywhere else in the world, there are nice parts of Africa just like there are poor parts of Africa. There are rich Africans just as there are poor Africans. And you can't have this one narrative of poor, starving people. Nigeria has one of the fastest growing middle classes in Africa. They have shopping malls and resorts and beaches and tourism. So I would completely agree with Sheila and say that Italians are pretty ignorant when it comes to Africans, and they should understand that not every African in their country is an illegal immigrant. At Bocconi, I have classmates from Nigeria, I have classmates from Zimbabwe, I've worked with a woman from Mali. Like, I've worked with Africans from all stages of life in Italy. So to paint everybody with this narrative that everybody's an illegal immigrant, everybody is a criminal, is flawed. And I think that a lot of Italians should remember that my father is Nigerian, so I, in effect, am Nigerian as well. Chiara K. Kira. Sei mai stata in Svizzera? Vorresti mai venirci? Kira, sì, sono stata a Svizzera per un weekend con una famiglia. Ho fatto il babysitter. Io ho avuto questi clienti che lavoravo con a Milano, e per un weekend loro sono andati nelle montagne in Svezia e loro mi hanno chiesto andare con loro. Ovviamente non era proprio Svizzera, sono stata solo nelle montagne, ma sì, tecnicamente sono stata lì. Chiara Marcella 7 asks me, sei pro o contro i gay? Semplicemente sono pro i gay, e spiego in inglese perché voglio essere chiara. I am pro gay rights. I have many friends and I've grown up with many gay people. My best friend Philip is gay. I believe that everybody should have the right to live their lives. Even the people that say, oh, but I don't agree with the lifestyle, I don't think that's a valid excuse to put your beliefs on somebody else's life. It's not your business. Kilo, come mai hai deciso di trasferirti a Milano solo per gli studi? Sì, se la università migliore per economia fosse stata a Roma, sarei andata a Roma. Era solo per studi. I guess. I don't know if I explained that well, but basically I just applied to the best economic school I could find, and that happened to be in Milan, and I happened to know like Enrico was studying in Milan, and so at the time it all just made sense. I guess that it was just for the study that I kind of moved to Milan, and it's a good thing that I ended up liking it. Superpow says, what have you been using for your acne pigmentation? Your skin looks good. Oh, well, thank you for noticing. I have been working very hard on my skin for you guys and for myself, and I've been using do you know Palmer's Fade Cream? I've never seen this in Italy, but in America, there are different creams that have like lightening agents. Some people would call them skin bleaching creams. And so I've just been applying those directly to the spots. I told you guys, I only get pimples when I have exams or I'm under stress. Now that I'm not under stress, I don't have any pimples. So what I've been doing is I've been lightening the spots themselves with the creams. Unfortunately though, like I've noticed that my whole face has been getting a lot lighter. Like my foundation doesn't match my face at all. So when I go to Texas this weekend, I plan on tanning a lot just to even everything out, and I think that'll do it. Find fade creams, they're actually quite common, and then like, you know, go outside and tan a little bit in the sun. I'm not saying like burn yourself and ruin your skin, but go sit out in the sun for like an hour and your face will look more even. Okay, Amukanga says,
Dear Tia, first of all, I would like to say that I love watching your YouTube channel, and I had two questions for you actually. My first question is, if you graduate Bocconi, are you considering pursuing a master's degree? You say that you were interested in going back to the States after you graduate for work or anything. My question is, do you still feel the same way? Are you going to build your future here in Europe, to stay in Italy, to pursue a career, or are you considering moving to another European country? Final question is, will you visit the Netherlands sometimes? Yeah. Love your channel and keep up the good work. I'll be tuning in like I usually do. So good luck with your Q&A.
Well, thank you, Amukanga. Yes, this fall I will start the process to apply to Bocconi's master's degree. I'm not going to continue with economics and management though. I feel like my interests have kind of changed. I want to find a job that I have a lot of fun doing, and Bocconi has a really good master's program for marketing. Everything I do with YouTube, working with brands, and already interests me, and I already kind of do it. So I just feel like it's more me. Marketing and advertising and just the creative aspect of things, the creative aspect of business is more for me rather than like the numbers and the math and the models, you know. If I want to stay in Italy, right now that is the plan. Bocconi's a really good school, and I have a few American friends that graduated from Bocconi and were able to find work. So I'm hoping that I'll find a job. If I cannot find a job in Italy, obviously I have to leave. Enrico plays a role in the future as well, because we talk about our future together a lot, and I'm pretty open to going wherever he wants to go because he studies chemical engineering. And as you know, for example, in America, people make so much money with that degree, and in Italy they don't really make a lot. So like if he ever wanted to go to America to work and make a lot of money, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna go with you, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna leave here. Or if he wants to go to any country that he feels is better for him, I'll go with him. We've talked about that, but right now he wants to stay in Italy too, so we're most likely both going to stay in Italy and try to find jobs, and if worse comes to worse and we really can't find anything and we're both super unhappy, then we'll probably move to another European country, maybe Germany or something. And then your last one is if I'm ever going to go to Netherlands. Girl, yes, I'm going to make it to every single country on earth. So one of these days, yes, I will make it to the Netherlands. What do you think about marijuana and drugs in general? I mean, I know I said ask me anything, but dang. It's kind of like prostitution in Netherlands. I feel like that kind of thing is a lot better if the government regulates it, and then the government can make money off of taxing it and regulating it. The whole idea of morality and drugs being immoral, I just think that it never works out. In history, it never works out. Prohibition didn't work out in America. The war on drugs didn't work out in America. And to me, like, I don't think smoking weed makes somebody a bad person. At least economically, it's a pro if it's legal and regulated. And if it's legal and regulated, people shouldn't be like dying from contamination, laced drugs. If you're asking me if I'm pro legalization, yeah, I'm pro legalization.
Hi Tia,
Just wondering what your dream job is after college.
My dream job is obviously to become a super famous YouTuber, like next PewDiePie, like, duh. I don't know what my dream job will be. Like, right now, I see myself kind of as an entrepreneur. I make money doing a lot of different things, you know, English teaching here, a YouTube video there, maybe I'll get a conventional job there. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. As long as it makes me enough money while still letting me have my freedom to like travel and live life, I guess I don't really care.
Volevo chiederti che consiglio daresti a una ragazza che deve scegliere cosa studiare all'università e come hai scelto tu quando è stato il tuo turno.
Ok, provo. Cerco a rispondere in italiano. Allora, cosa consiglierei ai ragazzi che stanno scegliendo i loro corsi per l'università? Secondo me è importante sia scegliere qualcosa che a te piace, ma sia qualcosa che è utile. Perché vedi tante volte ragazzi che scegliono meno in Italia, più negli Stati Uniti, scegliono questi corsi che in realtà non hai bisogno di andare all'università a studiare queste cose e poi non riesci a trovare lavoro con queste cose, con questi corsi e poi non riesci a ripagare come si dice, i prestiti che devi pagare e questo è un problema. Quindi è importante scegliere qualcosa che a te piace ma anche qualcosa che puoi guadagnare un po' o puoi trovare lavoro. Se no è meglio trovare un lavoro non lo so, normale come un commessa e poi la tua passione sul lato o on the side. Questo è meglio secondo me, non ha più senso andare all'università in nostra generazione per le cose come, non lo so, filosofia. Non dico che la filosofia non è importante, ma è ovvio che non è facile trovare lavoro con questo laurea. Non lo so, se hai i soldi e non hai bisogno di soldi, non hai bisogno di lavoro, ok, va bene, vai così. Ma sì, è anche importante scegliere qualcosa che a te piace e anche forse qualcosa che dà un po' di spazio per cambiare le idee, perché nella mia vita ho cambiato idea tante volte. Io volevo essere la presidente, volevo essere un'avvocata, volevo essere un economista. Economista, esiste questa parola? Volevo essere qualcuno che fa l'economia, boh. E ora voglio entrare nel settore di advertising. Quindi puoi cambiare l'idea tante volte. Scegliete voi qualcosa che a voi piace e anche qualcosa con cui potete trovare lavoro. 3 questions. Do you have any sort of belief or faith? Would you like to get married and would you like children? I do have a belief or faith. Would you like to get married? Yes, I would. And would you like to have children? Yes, I would. Both. I would like to get married by like 28, but you know, the way that immigration works out in Italy, it might have to be a little sooner. We'll see. What made you want to study abroad and why was Italy your country of choice? Okay, there are just a couple of reasons, bullet point reasons. I wanted to study abroad because I saw that it was cheaper. I saw that there was a lot of opportunities, like for example, to learn a new language and meet new people and travel a little bit more. And I mean, a lot of people think that if you study abroad, it means you have to stay here, but it doesn't. I have a friend, Lily, that went to Bocconi and then she went back to America and landed a job making 6 figures. Just because you study abroad and get your degree abroad doesn't mean you can't go back to America, so why not do it? And then I picked Italy because I was more familiar with it, more comfortable with it. I had some connections with people over there. I had studied the language. I liked the culture. It just really seemed for me.
Hi Tia, since you've been living in Europe, do you think your point of view on things has changed or is it the same?
My point of views on things have changed a lot. Surprisingly, some things I've become more conservative on. For example, gun violence. Before I left America, I would have said, yeah, no, just ban all the guns. And I don't know, being outside of my own country caused me to look outside the box a little bit, caused me to look at the full picture and caused me to look at things from a different perspective. And it kind of changed my opinion. Like, yes, I believe in gun regulation, but I know that it's not as simple as, oh, ban all the guns.
Yeah, it's Ricardo. Greetings from Umbria. I wanted to ask you, what are your favorite TV series? Bye-bye. I hope you answer my question.
Right now, I'm finishing up Mad Men. Of course, I finished Orange is the New Black, Game of Thrones, Arrested Development, Stranger Things, How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, and Being Mary Jane are kind of like my black girl favorites.
Hi, my name is Daniela. I love your videos. I just wanted to ask if you're still dating Rico.
Yes, I'm still dating Enrico. On the 17th, it will be our 2-year anniversary.
If you go to an Italian cafe, how would you order your coffee?
Ciao, posso avere un caffè normale? Grazie. Buona giornata.
Tia, I wanted to ask you, do you miss Italy?
Yes, I miss Italy a lot. What do you want to do career-wise after uni? Do you want to start a business? I mean, it's kind of related to a question that I answered before. I would love for this YouTube thing to keep going and maybe Tia Taylor to be a brand. Maybe start something, maybe a little clothing line or an accessories line. I would love to dabble in makeup, especially like foundations, and have like a Europe-based makeup company that delivers foundations and makeup for all shades, super light and super dark. That would be my dream, but easier said than done. Okay, how much does it cost to live in Italy as a young adult, to be specific about monthly finances? The amount of money I spend on food has gone up. I think it's because me and Enrico have kind of switched. In the first year, I was at his house a lot, so I was eating a lot of his food and was able to buy less food on my end. Now he's at my house a lot, and so I have to buy a lot more food, but I still stick with my like 20 euros a week budget. Sometimes I might go a little bit over, sometimes I'm actually under, like I'll have food left over from the week before and I'll be able to spend like 17 euros. So I'd say my budget of food is like 20 euros a week, 80 euros a month for food. For my phone bill, I pay 10 euros a month. For my student Metro card, which gives me transportations, I pay 22 euros a month, and that gives me unlimited access to all the public transportation in Milan anytime, blah, blah, blah. And then for rent right now where I'm living, I pay like 600 euros a month, which is a lot and is not necessary, but I chose to live in like the center-ish of Milan and have like a nice white room and a newish apartment. So that cost of a room is a choice. You can find rooms for much cheaper. You can split a room and pay like 200 or 300 euros a month. Enrico pays something like 300 euros a month for his room, and he lives 10 minutes away from me, and that's because he shares his room. So I can't like do all that total, but I would say that's like what, 700 or 800 euros a month that I spend.
What are your plans when you finish school in Italy?
Like I said, I would like to stay in Italy.
Tia, my question is, do you have any idea how severe the consequences are if you're caught working without a visa?
How severe the consequences are? On paper, you can get deported. That's what they say. But have I ever heard of anybody getting deported? No. And I know a lot of people that have like expired permesos and work without papers, and it's pretty rare that somebody gets picked up on anything, but I wouldn't suggest that. I think that Italy's a really fair country in terms of immigration. I don't think that the requirements are that heavy. So like me personally, I think it's just easier to get your visa and work regularly. But I mean, if you want to take that risk of getting deported, I don't know of anybody that's gotten deported. Hi Tia, I want to know if the school that you go to gives you a degree that's recognized in the US. 2, okay, I'll answer that first. Yes, it does. 2, did anyone ever tell you not to go to school outside of the States? And if so, how did you respond? Maybe they didn't tell me not to, but they'd say why. They'd say, how are you going to find a job in Italy? How are you going to make it in Italy? But I'm just the kind of person that when I get my mind set on something, I do it. I was really determined to make it work, and I did. And I know lots of other people that have done that too. So if you really want to do it, you'll make it work. Do you find living in Europe cheaper than living in the States? Yes. Maybe not in immediate moments, but in the long run. Yeah. Well, in Milan and in Italy, compared to Connecticut and New York.
Hey Tia, my question for you is, what is the coolest or one of the coolest things you've done in Italy? By the way, I love your videos. And you. Bye.
Thank you, lovely, lovable 96. I love you too. I guess going to Milan Fashion Week, because that was never something that I expected to happen. I come from a really small town in the middle of Connecticut, and never would I ever have said that I would go live in Italy, let alone be sitting at a runway show in Milan Fashion Week.
Tia, it's Boogie from Ireland. My question is, when you first moved to Italy, did you being a black woman affect the way people acted towards you, and how did you deal with any racism you encountered?
To be honest, like I said, I'd never really experienced outwardly negative racist moments in Italy. maybe I'll start to see negatives when I enter the job market and I start doing like interviews and stuff. But as of right now, being a black woman hasn't really been negative for me.
Hey Tia, if you're still doing the Q&A, I just wanted to know, are there any Italian artists or bands that you're particularly into? Much love from New York.
My favorite one, nobody laugh at me, I don't want to hear any hate, I don't want to hear it in the comment section, but I love Il Volo. And in my opinion, they won Eurovision 2 years ago, okay? They were the true winners. I love them so much. If you ask Italians, they'll probably think that they're losers, but the music, the hair, the way they carry themselves, they're just so sophisticated, and then the operatic pop, like, I just love them. They take being a boy band just to the next level. I also like Negramaro, Moda. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Moda with the accent on the end. I love them. A lot of Italians hate them, but I love them. Emma Marrone, Alessandra Amoroso, Elisa, Nina Zilli, of course Laura Pausini.
Hey Tia, so I just wanted to start off by saying I'm a long-time subscriber and I watch every single one of your videos, and I have a couple of questions, so prepare. So the first thing I wanted to know, since you're Jamaican and I'm Jamaican too, what are some of your favorite Jamaican foods? And do you understand patois / speak it? And final question, what's your favorite type of music to listen to? Or what types of music do you like to listen to? And love you, bye!
I love you too, Sydney Kong 99. My favorite Jamaican food would be like a little bit basic, you know, ackee and saltfish, but I also like curry chicken and dumpling, not just curry chicken and rice, and I love beef patties. I can understand it, cento per cento, yes, because I actually used to live in Jamaica when I was very, very young. From 8 months to 3 years old, I lived in Jamaica, or maybe 4. I even started school in Jamaica. My grandma just gave this to me the other day, and I actually have it right next to me. This was my uniform when I went to school in Jamaica. And so when I was younger, you know, even though they wanted to call me foreign girl, I wasn't no foreign girl. I spoke patois. The last time I've been to Jamaica was in 2006, and 10 years not speaking, not using the dialect, not using the language, I pretty much lost it. My accent is so thick and American now, but like, if you come down to it, yes, me know if you speak patois. Me know what them I say, so you know if you try me, and yes, see it, my youth. Lorenzo, I hope I'm not late. Anyway, my question is regarding the main differences you find between Italian and Americans and actual Italians regarding, Italian Americans and actual Italians regarding different cultures such as culture and also race. It's interesting to see how the environment maybe plays a role. Fabi says, hi Tia, I'm Fabiola. My question is, what are your favorite thing of Italy and favorite thing of America? Sorry for my English, I love you. My favorite thing about Italy, I guess, would be a tie between the food and the fashion. And then my favorite thing about America would probably be, I think I like American efficiency. I like American idealism. And Americans are dreamers. Americans will be the ones to say, I can go out there and I can do anything, you know? You don't really hear that for Italians. Italians don't really think so greatly of themselves, but American children are taught to believe that they can do and achieve anything. Last question from Krakolu.
What is it like to be back to the States where you're not considered an adult since you live in Italy where you are?
I think that you mean drinking age. Weirdly enough, in America, I am considered an adult. They want me to buy my own health insurance and pay for this, that, and the third, but I can't drink. It sucks a lot because I'm not the type of person to get blackout wasted, but it is fun to go out and get a drink with your friends, talk and sit at a bar and listen to music or have an aperitivo. Like, that's fun. And it's really annoying if I go to any event and I can't drink because I'm 20. You guys, I'm literally 20 and a half years old. I'm 20 years old in 6 months and I can't drink. And the only thing worse than being under 21 is being 20, because you're so close but yet so far. Thank you guys for asking all those wonderful questions, and I hope I answered them well enough. I hope I answered the Italian ones in a way that was understandable. Every day that I spend in America, my Italian loses more and more and more. Oh my god, my Italian is so bad right now. I'm really struggling, you guys. I need to hurry up and get back. Leave me your comments down below, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.